The Kansas City Chiefs report is presented by Manscaped, and if you want to get 20% off plus free shipping, go to the link below, manscaped.com, and use the promo code CHIEFS. That'll get you 20% off the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their men's grooming products. The holidays are almost here, and that is a great gift for the men in your life. All right, let's get into some injury stuff, and then we got some more storylines to get to. Rashad Fenton, who would have thought at week 4, let's say, Rashad Fenton injury update would be leading off a Kansas City Chiefs report, but with his emergence as a key player on this Kansas City Chiefs defense, we got to talk about it. He, of course, left this game with a knee injury. It was kind of unclear how severe it was because it was late in the game. He kind of crawled off the field after trying to contest a pass intended for, I believe, Cedric Wilson later in that game. He is slated to have an MRI today. I'm not sure if he's already had it. I haven't seen an update as we're filming this, but we'll see how that MRI ends up panning out on Monday. Fenton's been great. So obviously this is something to monitor because this defense, which we'll talk about in a greater mass later in the show, has really started to emerge and has really started to play at a very, very high level. And I will say this, the bye week comes at a nice time, albeit you've won 4 in a row. The momentum's real. You'd like to keep that going. But if I am not going to lose Rashad Fenton for a game or two due to the bye week, I would rather take that trade-off because there's no doubt about it. He is a starting caliber corner on this team. PFF had him as the highest graded corner going into this last week. I don't think he's that good, but I do think he's played really, really well since being a full-time starter for about 5 weeks now. You look at the depth chart as a whole, Charvarius Ward, L'Jarius Sneed as your outside guys, but he has replaced Mike Hughes as the nickel, but if Fenton can't go, it would be Hughes at nickel, but Fenton can play outside, he can play nickel, he can blitz a little bit as well. There's no doubt about it that Mike Hughes, if he were to have to go back into the lineup after being benched due to Rashad Fenton's emergence, that's a downgrade. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that whatsoever. He's a major downgrade. Hughes did make some nice plays on special teams against Dallas, by the way, so I do want to give him some props there, but I do think Rashad Fenton's status is something to monitor over the next 24, 48, 72 hours. Luckily, the Chiefs have a bye week, and it doesn't sound like he's going to miss a lot of time for Kansas City, so that is the good news, but we'll have to wait and see what the MRI ends up showing for Rashad Fenton. Show him some love. I've been pushing Rashad Fenton for 2 years saying he should get more playing time. The Chiefs finally listened to me. Hopefully he's not banged up too bad. Like this video if you want to show Rashad Fenton some love. And you might get hit with a YouTube ad break right now, so if you do, just hit the thumbs up icon. Ad will wrap up, and then the video will be back up and playing, so go ahead and like the video. Another quick injury update. Jerick McKinnon left with the hamstring injury. Andy Reid didn't really comment on the severity. With the bye week here, we may not hear a ton of tangible updates on any injured guys until either later in the week or even into next week. So stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter for any other buzz I hear at HGramNFL. But McKinnon did leave with a little bit of a hamstring pull. He was questionable to return, so that tells me they don't think it's super serious. He didn't return, but maybe it's like a 1 to 2 week thing or something like that. And again, with the bye week being here, pretty good chance he wouldn't miss any time. Now, no one likes injuries. Luckily, the Chiefs haven't had any major ones recently, but if you can't stand them, if you hate injuries, type H in the chat. I never like seeing players get hurt. This is a physical game, though, and that is the reality of this sport, but type H if you cannot stand injuries. Something I love is Manscaped because, hey, you got to keep your family jewels nice and tidy, nice and clean, especially if you're married like me. You just don't want to face that inevitable possibility when you're getting down and frisky with your wife, your girlfriend. Maybe it's a one-night stand. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone. The Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped is going to keep things nice and clean downstairs because they have advanced skin care technology with this Lawnmower 4.0. 4 adjustable blades as well. So if you want to leave a little bit of hair, no big deal as well. 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs. As I stumble through my words here, trust me, get this product for 20% off. $71.99 with the deal. It sounds like a lot, but I've had mine for like 2.5 years at this point, and it still is going strong. Long battery life, wireless charger, and it is waterproof as well, so you can shave in the shower. Your balls will thank you. Go to Manscaped, and hey, go check out their other products as well. Manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs. That link and promo code will be in the comments and in the description. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Clyde Edwards-Helaire return this week against the Dallas Cowboys. He was pretty good on Sunday. I thought he looked fresh. I thought he looked quicker than he had in a while. That he had some nice runs. Patrick Mahomes saying, quote, he rolled in this ball game, basically saying, hey, he didn't miss a beat whatsoever. And I've been telling you guys, and I can't tell if you guys hadn't believed me or not, 2 of his better games of his career came before this latest knee injury. So he kind of picked right up where he left off. 5.3 yards per carry, 63 yards on 12 carries, had a touchdown. And something he's really good at is, since he's 5'7", he can stay low to the ground, and he finds these little lanes where if he was a bigger back, he wouldn't be able to squeeze in there. But the numbers were pretty impressive for CEH in a, starting role, but not like a, bell cow type role. Darrell Williams still got some touches, obviously. But if he's in that 13 to 16 carries, getting 5 yards a carry, I mean, let's go. I mean, I've been saying for weeks, the Chiefs need to run the football more with the way teams are playing them defensively. I thought the footwork was impressive. The vision was good. That's been an issue for him at times early on in his career, but I thought he did a good job of recognizing where he could find some extra yardage, and that's a trait some backs just don't have, and I think he's improved in that aspect this year. So it was nice to get him back. Some of you guys were like, should they just stick with Darrell Williams? And I was like, guys, Edwards-Helaire's the starter. A, you've invested in him, and B, he was running well before the injury. Obviously, the fumble against Baltimore kind of made things not look so good for him, but he had back-to-back 100-yard games earlier in the season. So I'm glad to get him back. The Chiefs owe it to themselves and to Clyde a little bit to see how much they can get out of this first-round pick. I mean, they did use a premium draft pick on him, and if he's running like he did on Sunday, that bodes well for this offense that is slowly but surely coming together here in the middle of this NFL season. Is CEH the Chiefs' best running back? I think he clearly is. Type Y for yes, type in for no. The good news is Darrell Williams still has a role. A healthy Jarrett McKinnon has a role. CEH obviously has one. It doesn't have to be just one guy, but I do think CEH should be the lead guy. That's why I'm going to type my Y for yes. If you disagree, type an in for no. Let's talk about this defense, man. This has been the story of this team for about a month now, as Mahomes and the offense has kind of dug itself out of their struggles, and I think they've done a good job of that. But we got to continue to praise this defense. Obviously, Kansas City's won 4 in a row. I would say it's very fair to say this winning streak is credited mostly to Steve Spagnuolo and this defense. I mean, I know Dallas had some guys out, but to hold them to 9 points, I don't care, man. It's a damn good job by this group to do what they did to Dak Prescott and that group on Sunday. And it hasn't just been one game. This has been a theme for several weeks now. This defense currently, at this moment, is elite. Doesn't mean it's been elite for this whole season. Doesn't mean in general it's an elite defense. But at this moment, how can you say it's not elite? They're getting pressure on the quarterback. They're creating turnovers. And most importantly, they're not giving up points. Look at the win streak. 17 points allowed against New York. 7 points allowed against Green Bay. I know they didn't face Aaron Rodgers. Still, they shut him out for 55 minutes before a late touchdown. Held the Raiders to 14 points on the road. Dallas to 9 points in this stretch. They've only given up 11.75 points per game in the month of November. I don't care who you're facing. This is the NFL. You're holding teams to 12 points or less. You're going to win a lot of football games, especially when you're Kansas City. Imagine once this offense really gets humming again, which hopefully it does, like they were against the Raiders. This team's tough to beat if you're playing this way on defense. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo deserves a lot of credit. We'll talk more about his group in a second. But this is the time to subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, a month ago, I think some of you guys were probably checked out. Get back on the bandwagon because this team has won 4 in a row and is looking for a playoff push. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We will continue to pump out news, rumors, and more videos throughout the season. We'll continue to go live on Mondays as well, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time, and do as many watch parties as we can. I think these are some reasons for the defensive turnaround. In no particular order, we talked about Rashad Fenton earlier. I think not only his emergence, but the willingness to go to him and play him. I've been saying that for a while, that he deserves a bigger role, and he's done well with it. So that's a big thing. Chris Jones, he's dominating. I mean, that's a big thing as well. Frank Clark improving. That's another development. He hasn't been awesome, but he has been a lot better during this stretch. He had a nice couple of plays against Dallas. Is he worth the contract he makes? Probably not, but he's playing a lot better than he was earlier in the year and even most of last year. Another thing Spags has done, he's blitzing a lot more. He's doing a lot of man coverage on the outside and cover zero blitz. I think that has paid off. I thought that was going to be risky against Dak and the Cowboys, but a lot of the blitzes they had were very successful. And then I think Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger is back. His swagger is back. The energy, the leadership has been on display. So these are just some of many reasons, but it all starts with Spags. I mean, Andy Reid could have fired Steve Spagnuolo for good reason, but he did not. He stuck by him, and it's paid off. This has become, at least for the last 4 or 5, 6 weeks, a top 10 and elite defense in the NFL. Hopefully it continues, and if it does, it's going to be a hard team to beat, especially come playoff time, because defense always translates to the playoffs. Do the Chiefs have a top 10 defense right now? Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. I think currently they do. Obviously, we got to see it continue for the rest of this season, but at the moment, I'm going to type my 1 for yes.